G'day with the traders. I'm Roy, Coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the War Dogs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvin
Okay, boys, it is exciting times because we're here to review our one and only shot. So we've had a look at the AAMI Series.
Yes.
The one game.
We need more, Roy.
One AAMI is never enough. We needed two, but, you know, we got our eyes across all the games and plenty came out of it.
Well, there are the top scores for the AAMI Community Series with Jack McRae at the top. Oh, I like him as my M1. Early gains, VC option there. But Patrick Cripps with 141. He was in beast mode. Loved it as well.
He was bodacious.
Very good.
Now, if you have a look at the Giants, boys, fellas, I was super excited, okay?
Yes.
Especially at the return of Stephen Cornelio, who was in the middle, moving so freely as a forward. I think we have to take that opportunity.
Doing it.
All right, let's check out who else caught our eye. Now, for me, it was my new boy, Zach Butters. 120 now, 107 in the
Pracky match.
The Pracky match, it didn't really count.
Yeah.
But he's on fire.
Well, I liked Will Brodie, who did get a lot of midfield time. He was sort of on our radar all pre-season there. Very cheap, under 400K, and I think he's got a role. And he tackled. He did everything we needed for his big score.
100%. Now, I loved Colton's big recruit, Hewitt. Now, he's obviously come in to play midfield. They said it, but it backed it up in the AAMI game. So he had 87. He had over 30 touches. And what I liked most, he's a tackling machine.
Yeah.
He didn't bother laying a tackle in the preseason. No. So that 87, put a couple of tackles on top of that, and we're really talking.
That's 100.
Priced in the 60s. Gun.
Oh, exactly right. Now, we don't like to do too much of this, but you have to throw a couple of random invites to training after you've seen AAMI Series games. Now, well, look, I threw him an invite, but it must have got lost in the mail. Justin McInerney is going to be coming to my next training. So, Dog, did you find the invite?
You talked about him in the AFL record. Go and grab your copy. You can get some great advice in there, including Roy's talk about Justin McInerney.
Exactly right. So that means it's not so random. It's not too left field to invite him to training. So his role was amazing. Yeah. So he's looking so fit at the moment. Actually, he's so fit, he rested from the wing in the middle. Oh. That's how fit he was. Wow. So he just kept running and running. He is officially invited to training.
Now, my not so much random invite. You flip to Richmond there, Dog. Number 2 player on my watch list, Daniel Rioli.
Oh, look at him.
I can vouch for the fact that you have talked about him a lot.
Inviting him to training. Okay. Hasn't he been training with your squad all pre-season?
Hasn't trained yet.
Really?
As of right now, he's locked in my team.
Wow.
You've been a number one fan all
I have.
season.
I just didn't have the guts to do it, but 87 on the weekend was enough.
Well, I've invited along Hugo Rouse from the same club. Now, he's a rookie price player, and he scored well with 86 on the weekend.
Yeah.
Got the mid-forward status, but it's all about the role, and he's going to be in the half-back. Points can flow there, and that's one of the big things we watched during the AAMI Community Series is that role, and he had it. Now, he was among those better scorers of the sub-300K players, Tristan Sherry, but Nick Dacos is no problem with picking him. He's going to be one of the best picks.
He'll hang around for a long time in our
this
teams.
year.
Brownlow. Don't want to go early on it?
Yep, other guys there. Jason Horn-France as well had a great game, so no issues with picking those. But who else under 300K caught your eye?
Well, given the injury crisis at the Eagles, I'm considering hassling the Hoff.
Okay.
Now,
don't mind it.
I probably wouldn't put him on the ground, Dog, but this is probably a good time to mention that we may have to pay a little more than the base 190 for our bench players this year to ensure that cash is being generated. So he looked very solid, in my opinion. He had a 65.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll
take that.
I've got one. I don't like it, but 270K defender forward, Paddy McCartan.
He started really well in that game.
Really well.
But he's under 300.
Yeah.
Is he going to play? Is he going to be best 22
He played
round one?
He played 91% game time last week. I reckon he's there.
Wow.
All right. I'm looking at a couple of Bomber guys. Now, Kane Baldwin looks good up forward and not going to be a huge scorer, but he could be there at a 190K for us, which we desperately need.
Well, yes, we do.
The other one, too, that I did like is Nick Martin, who was signed as an SSP. Now, he's obviously nice and cheap there with forward status as well. He scored 57 in the second half.
What?
Playing on a wing. So if an opportunity comes to him, we have to lock,
100%.
don't we?
That sort of scoring potential, that price. Beggars can't be choosers.
Exactly,
at the
Roy.
moment.
Exactly.
All right, ruck bench. Sam Hayes has been the popular one, and he was pretty solid. Had a 50.
Yep.
who knows if he plays or not. But a couple of the other guys there, Jack Hayes for St Kilda, he was an SSP signing, and he had 49 with no Ryder. If Ryder's out for a little bit, they might play him behind Marshall, and he could be a heartbeat for us there, as well as Hugh Dixon, another Eagle with Eagles worries.
Exactly right.
Only had 38 though. So,
beggars. Well, you can't really.
A couple of other things out of the AAMI Community Series, the injuries. So we saw Paddy Lipinski go down with an ankle. Don't know if he'll be right for round one or not, but put a line through him for me for classic. The other ones there, Rory Laird, broken hand, 4 to 6 weeks.
Good for Matt Crouch.
Yeah, you sicko. You were thinking that, weren't you?
No. Did I say that aloud?
You did,
Sorry.
So, Matt Crouch, though, is he in your team at the moment?
Oh, it didn't take you long to join sicko train, did it?
Kitty Coleman, we were keen on him to be one of our cheap defenders, but he hurt his hamstring. Hunter Clark, Roy, part of your keeper league.
Certainly
Shoulder
is.
out for a little while. Jack Billings, hammy.
So is he.
But we just need to monitor health of our players leading into round one, because you don't want to be taking someone underdone or under a cloud as well, because we want 30 green dots. That's what it's all about.
100%.
That's what you need. Let's hope we can get those. Tune into our latest podcast where we review in a bit more detail all of these games that we saw of the AAMI Community Series, and keep clicking back to afl.com.au in these last few days before round one so that you can have a cracking AFL fantasy season. Sign up at fantasy.afl.com.au or download the app. I'm just too excited at the moment.
It's exciting.
I can't even get words out.